All right, welcome back, everybody. Obviously, if you've been around for a while, Tuesdays last year were a little different. We did a lot of Tackle Tip Tuesdays. I will actually link that video up in a card towards the end of this video if you guys are interested in learning some stuff from Tackle Tip Tuesdays. But today is all about this guy right here. Girl, big fat girl. Basically, I got a new rod this season, and I want to go over it with you guys now that I've had a chance to use it and actually land a couple of those fish on it. I don't like, if you guys have been around, I don't like doing product reviews and stuff like that unless I've used it and I have kind of an understanding of how well it works. So today's video is all about the Commander ice rod from Tuned Up Customs Rods. And just ahead of time, so you guys know, I link everything in the description if I'm talking about it. So if you guys want to use it too, you can go down there and pick up one yourself. So let's get started. Okay, so as you guys can see, I have this thing packed. It's still packed from when I was out getting that big walleye from last weekend. Well, I'll link that at the end of this video. So if you guys want to see me using the rod that I'm talking about today, it'll be in the last video, or at the very end of this video, in most recent videos and stuff like that. But today I'm going to be talking about that guy right there with the big long handle. That's my Tuned Up Customs Commander. It's tucked in there with my Precision and my Bullwhip. So I have 3 Tuned Up Customs rods right now. They all work beautifully, but today is all about catching big fat walleye on that rod that is specifically meant for taming those guys. So as you can see, I still have a bait on there and stuff, and I'm actually going to talk about that a little bit so you guys can understand why you use that rod. Okay, so we're going to go into the details of this thing, and I'm going to break down kind of my overview of why I got what I got and how I'm using it so far this year and how it's working. So if you guys are not new here, thank you to all you that are new. But all you guys that aren't new here should have seen this already. I talked about it a little bit earlier this season. This is my Tuned Up Customs Commander. It's a 36-inch, and it's basically like a medium action. So if you can see, try to show you, the backbone starts way out towards the tip there. This rod's pretty much a rug beater, but the big thing is here is, as you guys will see in other videos, and I mean if you've been around for a while, you know that normally I run split grips. And I mean, I had a conversation with John about it over at Tuned Up Customs on whether I should run a split grip or if I should run the main handle. And I kind of came up with the idea that I should run a main handle, because if I'm horsing a big fish in, or, you know, just trying to fish for anything big, you know, you're talking northern pike, walleye, lake trout, whatever, just holding it like this, or I tend to hold them pencil style like this a lot. If you're missing this back here and you have to switch to an overhand grip, that's right where it would split normally. And I want leverage. So this is leverage, you know, the torque you can put on this. So when I'm hooking into a big fish like this one up on the wall here, when it takes off on me, I have really good firm power ratio, you know, when I'm pulling the fish in. That's the main reason I went with the full grip. And then as you guys seen, this 36-inch fits just fine in my Otter Sportsman's case, which like I said before, I link everything in the description below. Hopefully you guys, you know, get whatever you need. That helps support the channel, just so you guys know ahead of time. But it does help support the channel a little bit. It basically gives me a couple pennies for gas dollars, and gets me out filming more for you guys, other than going down and buying the merch, which that's linked in the description too. So if you guys want to pick something up while you're picking rods and reels up and stuff like that, go into the merch link, pick some of that up. But back to this rod. The 2 biggest reasons I got this rod was this year my goal is to beat her up on the wall there That's 28 8 pounds, 28 inches 8 pounds. And I normally would never mount a fish. In fact, I don't think I would even mount one if I beat 30. I'm probably still going to get a replica and let them go. That's what I normally do. But the big thing is to try and beat it this year, and I wanted a rod specifically for that purpose. That, and I've been using other rods over the years. As you guys can see, I have a couple other rods just sitting over there right now. And this will kind of go into this. This is the Ultralight Rip and Wrap number 4. I'm going to show, basically, let's go over this real quick. So this rod is specifically built for these lures. So the Commander, you would get it for the biggest jigging wraps. And I don't even think I have one in here because I don't think it fits. Let me check real quick. Oh, there's a number 5 right there. But like typically, so it's not that much bigger, but typically you'd be fishing like a number 5 or a number 6 or whatever the next one up is from this number 5. Big baits, big fish, lots of action, but I got it mainly for fishing this stuff, my real heavy spoons, and from what I found out on this last trip with it, it does exactly what I want it to. Okay, so I'm going to take this off here so I don't hook myself. Like I said, I have this bait linked in the video from my last video with the walleye where I caught my first big walleye in this rod. I'm not going to link it below in the description of this one just because it has nothing to do with the fact that this is the rod. I mean, it's one that you can use, but there are so many options for baits that it's kind of moot. But so with this rod, I will say the 3 best characteristics of it for me right now are going to be my backbone being as much as it is, so you guys can see how much of the rod you have to fight the fish. But if you walleye fish, which that's why I got this, you can see the head shakes can still go and you won't unpin the fish. Like it's not snappy. It's hard to describe to some people that don't, if you don't walleye fish for big walleye, it's hard to, you would never know. But if you are intending on catching big walleye, you need something that can suck up, you know, a 6 to 7 inch head shake, which is what those things do. They have very big head shakes, and when you hook into one, you'll know right away it's giant walleye. One of the other nice things on here are these recoil guides. Ice will build up on them a little bit. It tends to not. Like, it's better than normal guides, but these recoil guides, when you get ice on them, you can just kind of, you can do that with them. You know, just kind of flick them real quick, and the ice comes right off of them. So if you're a hole hopper like I am, I can't sit still for the life of me. When I'm hole hopping, I like to be able to get out and, you know, walk from hole to hole. And that's another reason for the length is, you know, when you're standing, this is real close to the water. So you can stand there and jig and not get a sore neck and stuff like that. But when you're hole hopping, you can just kind of flick the ice off it as you go. Nothing to worry about with that. Then, what was the third one? I want to say it's going to be this, but this right here, like I talked about earlier, I knew I wanted it, but I have never actually fished in all of my life with a big solid rod. I have fished with solid ones, but like this is, I think, an 8-inch handle. So if you guys are trying to like duplicate this rod setup, it's a 36-inch Commander with an 8-inch solid cork handle. The coolest thing that I discovered that I didn't even think about was this rod is actually very sensitive. That's the third thing. The handle's nice, but the sensitivity was an added bonus. So 3 things: the recoil guides, the action, and then the actual sensitivity. So like, I can feel that, you know, any vibration that comes into this. When I hooked into that fish and I caught it on this little bait, this is only a number 4. Big fish eat little baits too, just so you guys know. So don't always just throw the big ones, but that's what this rod's for, is the real big baits, so you can play with them and manipulate them properly. But when it hit this little bait, I was holding the rod if you watch the video, if you've seen it, I was holding the rod like this, like a pencil. So I do this, and I just kind of hold, you know, this is a really relaxed way of just holding your rod. So when you're sitting there, you know, you can just jig it, and you can get a ton of action out of it by holding it like a pencil. But when I was holding it like this, I felt that fish grab the bait, and then I was actually able to see it load up a little bit on the tip. So it's almost like a sight feel rod, even for walleye. Kind of one of those, you know, added things that you didn't think about when you got it, and then when you got it, you were very excited to get it. So I'm going to go over one thing that's a little bit of a tip for you guys since you're here today. We're not going to call this Tackle Tip Tuesday, but this is just a little inside tip. If you fish rods like this and you're switching baits often, I'm going to show you guys up close. Do this and you will thank me later. Okay, so that is a quick snap. I asked a bunch of you guys what the name was before, and some of you guys gave me all these little random names, and some of them were close to it, but that's a quick snap. A bunch of different companies make those. So tie that directly to your line, cut your line to the length of your rod. Sometimes I go about an inch shorter, so 36 inches, and then, you know, it'd be like a 34, 2 inches shorter, 34-inch thing. Then tie this inline swivel on to that length of line. So you can use, if you wanted to, you could use braid and then use that as like your fluorocarbon leader or whatever. This is just P-line fluoro clear, so it's like a hybrid of like mono and fluoro. But then do the inline swivel, because then that way when you're out there really searching for walleyes, you can, you know, drop this down, you switch it, drop that down, switch it, drop one of those down, switch it, and you can constantly go back and forth real easy because it's just a little clasp and you don't have to retie every time. Alright guys, so like I was saying before, today is all about this guy, because it had done exactly what I needed it to do. This Tuned-Up Customs Commander really did put my best fish topside so far this ice season. I'm hoping to beat that. If you guys seen it, you know that it's beatable. And in fact, I mean, I have to beat her still. So we got that. And then actually last open water season in the fall, if you guys follow me on Instagram, I'll put it right here at DWSDave31. You will see that I got a 29 and like 7/8 or 3/4 or whatever you want to call it. It was literally like I could have stretched her out and made a 30 out of it and then got a replica. But I'm not that kind of person. It's very self, you know, like, it bugs me. I don't care what you guys think. It bugs me. So I'm going to get a 30 and a 30 plus, and hopefully this right here does it for me. I'm going to link my Otter Sportsman's case down below. It's going to be how I protect my rods. I have it listed that way. Just so you guys, if you do get a Tuned-Up Customs rod, they are not cheap. They are not cheap. I will never lie to you guys. They are not cheap. But if you do get one, get the Otter Sportsman's case. Please get that. If you get nice things, you want to protect them, and you want them to last a very long time. I will have this rod till I'm old and gray. And that's the idea, is basically protect your rods, be able to use them season after season, and yeah, make good choices and investments. All right, so I hope everybody gets a good overview and understanding of that rod. We still have a lot of season hopefully left. It's been warm, and I've been like crying myself to sleep at night knowing that the ice isn't coming anytime soon, and then I'm going to have to drive for miles and miles and miles in order to get you guys some content. I will do it, but I would love for you guys to help out. So obviously in the description below, I will have my merch link below. I have stickers, I have shirts, I have everything. Just go into the store and look through it all. I even have some photos of the big bluegills I was on last year. I think they turned out great, so I did some posters and some art stuff for you guys. Pick that stuff up. It helps me get out and film for you. So obviously, if you're not new here, you know what's up. But if you are new, would you please just remember to